What's up, Trader's Edge? It's Mark Sebastian, your only option, and this is the week that was. Um, so today I'm going to walk through what happened with the S&P 500 and the Triple Q. I'm going to talk about VIX and volatility, and we'll take a little quick look at gold and oil, and we'll go through the bank earnings. All right, let's dig in. SPX. I think I told you guys that we had the 50-day moving average coming. Guess what? It went right to the 50-day and bounced. We ended the day just above the 50-day, closing at 51.2341. Vol has really broken out. Implied volatility has really broken out. We're seeing really the largest real fear since going back all the way to October. That is where we are, and the Qs look pretty darn similar. Vol not quite as high in the Qs. The Qs have already touched and been below the 50-day a couple of times. They did look extremely soft. The only bright spot in the Triple Q is Apple, which managed to close the day up. Actually, briefly got over the 50-day moving average. It looks like it wants to go to its 200 up at 183. Wouldn't be surprised to see it really make a run, especially if the market can turn around. Now, let's talk VIX, because this is really where I think things are important. It topped out at over 19 and looks like it is really starting to ramp up. We could come in on Monday and see some ugliness. I'll get to that a little bit more later. Futures term structure is pricing in a lot of craziness. The cash index is trading above April, which expires next Wednesday, and above May. At certain points today, we were in a full-on backwardation with April, May, and VIX. But as it stands now, the curve is extremely flat, which tells us we're going to move. When the curve is flat like this, it is telling you VIX is going to move and the S&P is going to move. So be prepared for fireworks. All right, so now let's circle back to what maybe was one of the big catalysts behind the price action on Friday, and that was JP Morgan. Ouch. Ugliest day that it's had since October of 2020. June of 2020. Just a really ugly day, completely broken lower, volume through the roof. It looks like it's in a borderline free fall. We could see this thing fall maybe down to 175 before it all is said and done. We did have a little better earnings out of Wells Fargo, which closed the day pretty flat, and Citigroup, which again closed the day pretty flat after initially being up. I think all these banks look a little sick, and that does not bode well. After booming higher all week, NVIDIA pulled back. It is now back below its 21-day moving average. It's still kind of floating around correction territory. I'll be interested to see if this thing actually does get plastered. It is potentially there. All right, let's circle back to gold. Gold. We may have just witnessed the top out in gold because it touched 225 and then immediately sold off, closed the day down, and maybe it's going to head back to 207. Silver, similar price action. What an ugly candle in silver. GDX also looking really ugly. Finally, oil. Oil was up big in the morning. It sold off with the overall market. If there was, the only stuff that was actually up on Friday was bonds, and that was not because the interest rate scenario looks better. It's because of fear. All right. Even when interest rates look like they're going to be going up, when we have a day like we did on Friday, bonds will get bid. For the week, we had a great trading week. I got out of a bunch of longs on Thursday ahead of all this. I carried Jets into today. I was short puts, or I was long puts, excuse me. I closed a zone trade in JP Morgan. Nice win there. JP Morgan falling apart. Nice little return there in JP Morgan. I actually have a bull zone trade in Apple that I'm keeping a tight eye on. And, one ETF to kind of keep an eye on is SQQ. If we do fall apart next week, the 11 calls are only 30 cents. That's pretty darn cheap. And those could be $12 by next week if we do get a rally, maybe higher. If the market really does fall apart and with implied volatility rallying, we could see some action out of SQQ. I'll give you kind of a look-see at what I'm looking for next week, later this weekend. But what I will lead is that this pattern of vol going up and up and up, they're going to say it's geopolitical, but it might not be. I would not be surprised if we see the wrong side of 5,000 before this is all said and done. You know what's not on the wrong side? UVXY. We were going to do our UVXY trade today. We waited. Why? It's not the perfect environment to put the trade on. I think I will be putting it on Monday or Tuesday. So if you've not joined 0DTE to get that UVXY trade, good news. There's still time. You can join. Give my team a call, 888-872-3301, or shoot us an email, support@optionpit.com. If you're watching us on YouTube, please like and subscribe to this channel, like this video, and leave a comment or a question, and I'll be happy to answer it in future videos. All right, everybody, I am Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. Have a good one.